Hi there, experts in creativity and innovation. This is the time for the fourth strategy, Think Flow, in which we will talk about group thinking, creative group thinking. So let me just try to explain you the keys of this fourth strategy. Sometimes we think that ideas come from individuals, only from individuals, creative people, geniuses, but it's not exactly, I would say, the truth. Ideas come from groups, come from teams, come from perhaps creative people that really work together, trying to combine their different ways of watching reality. The thing is that we're not accustomed to do so. In some companies, people don't work in teams, they just work individually, and that's all. Perhaps sometimes they are in a meeting and they discuss and they are not very productive. That doesn't function. To be creative, we have to try to overcome three barriers. First one is the ego. If you go to a creative session and you want to impose your perspective upon the other's perspective, this doesn't function. When you try to convince the others, when you try to shout a lot, to express your ideas, you have to listen. To be creative, you have to listen. Second thing is the self-censure. Sometimes we feel ridiculous. We don't know how to really apply criteria of lateral thinking, the poor thinking that we just saw in the second strategy, remember? We feel afraid of expressing crazy ideas, to really think out of the box, perhaps because there's the boss there or something like that. And the third point is the judgment. We have to defer judgment because if we simply mix the generation of ideas and the judgment, things doesn't function. We have to play with these ideas. It doesn't matter how absurd or crazy they are. We have to play to develop these ideas. Later on, we will have the opportunity to really judge them, to criticize them. Apart from that, it's true that we have lots and lots and lots of methodologies, of techniques that help teams to develop creativity. The classical brainstorming that Alex Osborne developed some decades ago. But apart from that, we have Hall of Fame, the Scamper method, and lots of techniques. The thing is that we have to get trained in these techniques. If a team of motivated people gets trained in a very specific technique, they get a lot of power, and that helps them to get extraordinary results. It's important first to be divergent, so it's to generate as many ideas as possible, and then in a second phase to analyze all these ideas, to make groups, to try to select the best ones, and at the end to prototype, to think with the hands. This process guarantees creative thinking, guarantees a good outcome when we try to think creatively in teams. Then, yes, it's possible that 2 and 2 plus 2 are more than 4, perhaps 6, 8, 5 is when we get high performance teams that are able to really do extraordinary things.